Ladies and gentlemen, Kim here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is up about 1.2% there. On the S&P Nasdaq did about 1.7%. Semiconductor made a little bigger move today with a 2.3%. Dow 1, Russell 2000 close to 3%. Transport's up about 1.5%. Banks and energy, these guys are pretty much flat, it looks like. Biotech up about 3%. Healthcare up a little bit. We got another 3% right here. Home builders along with the retail. These guys have made a 3 to 4% positive today. Utilities up by 1%. Emerging market 1.7%. Bitcoin, gold, silver. These guys are pretty much flat today. However, we did see the miners making a move about 1.3% there. Dollar down, oil up, treasury bond up. VIX is down a little bit. Let's see what S&P 500 ETF. Spider. 65-minute chart here. So this is where we closed yesterday, and it looks like we gapped up here, and this is where we opened up, and bulls kind of went for it. It actually filled a little bit of that down gap which we've been talking about, and then we came down a little bit, and then we filled a little bit of that up gap as well. You can see almost 50% of that up gap, actually more than 50%, because remember, it actually opened up. This is where it closed. It opened up here. So actually, when it opened up, the gap was this much. So actually filled like 35% or 40% of that up gap. However, leaving a little bit behind, it's going to favor the buyers. My subscribers and my members know this if you've been following my video. Leaving a little bit, it's going to favor the buyers, especially the fact that we've been in this bullish momentum in the last 3 weeks straight. So with that, you can see how we kind of flagged a little bit throughout the day. First hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour, we broke out on the 5th. And then we got up there on the 6th hour, close right on that first hour swing high, right? And it is not an accident that bulls parked just right at that level, right on that front door. Right? In this bears territory. We've been talking about how that 460, this is going to be the final battle playing out. Bears must protect this level if you do not want to see new all-time highs. Bulls, you must kill all that momentum by closing this down gap, closing down bears business, reclaiming the real estate of the bears by closing this down gap that was opened up about a month or two ago, right? So extremely important level for both bulls and bears. The fate of the intermediate term trend, it lies here. Bears can still turn things around if they manage to protect this down gap. But right now, things are not looking good for the bears. Should there be any kind of shenanigan? Right now, what the bears need is a miracle shenanigan down move, a miracle, a gap down, out of nowhere, surprise bloodbath. As far as the overall structure is concerned, as far as the sentiment is concerned, as far as the momentum is concerned, as far as the trend is concerned, everything favors the buyers. As the buyers just pulled up right in their front door. Should there be any kind of decline? Should there be any kind of shenanigan to the downside going into tomorrow? 455.86 is going to be, known as the that micro to short term support. We got the gap there still remaining open. That's going to act as support should there be any kind of decline. Also, my short term or micro term moving average also residing at 456. I given you that rising up. So we got a lot of micro to short term supports right now that bulls have gathered. That's that uptrend support. That's in that vicinity. That's the rising pivot. That's in that vicinity. We got the short micro term moving average. That's in that vicinity. We got that gap up. That gap still remaining open. That's in that vicinity. That's a quadruple support at 455. So even if bulls manage to bring it down, it feels like this level is going to attract a lot of bullish troops to pop the price back up. So I'm going to zoom out. Let's kind of re-examine this level, the front door of the bears. So all the bears retreated. All the big bears retreated back up to 460. Once this down gap was filled, they all retreated here. And this is where the bears are hanging out. All the little bears are dead, but the big bears, the boss bear, is hanging out at 460. You can see bulls just parked right in front. Why do you think they parked right in front? Because if they know that bulls are running on empty, why am I saying that bulls are running on empty? Because bulls are going up, straight up. They are just pushing this all the way. And they know that momentum is on their side. However, this is a kind of a risky business because if the bulls kind of go up and fill this gap here, that's going to act as resistance. You know, I don't think that's going to bring down all the way back to the lows, but bulls would have to come back down, let bears have their way one final time before we cultivate that higher low. And we don't know. It might be here. It might be 444. In a worst case, maybe 444. Because I think, you know, maybe bulls don't want to deal with that because we know that when the gap gets filled, it's going to act as resistance. And then given the fact that bulls have been running every single day for 2-3 weeks straight, running on empty, but they're pushing it and pushing and pushing it. I wonder there's a reason why bulls did not fill this down gap today. Because again, bulls know that if the down gap is filled, it's going to act as resistance, instant resistance. I wonder if they left it open and they're going for this. If they can gap it up above this gap, which is at about 465, right? So let's just say from here to, that's not a big gap at all. It only requires 0.6% gap up tomorrow morning. If bulls can achieve this, we'll have much more smoother transitioning back to new all-time highs. That doesn't mean we're not going to have a straight. That doesn't mean we're not going to have declines and pullbacks all along the way. I think the best case scenario is gapping up above it, and then even if you come down, fill that gap, it's going to act as support because that's an up gap now, and then bulls can continue to make a way instead of going up and fill this down gap. That acting as resistance and then pulling back. Because, you know, bears are angry. Bears are hangry. So if this thing go up and fill, there's a chance that there's a lot of support, short-term support here. Just because we've been rallying so much, could be some sort of short-term profit-taking event could occur. There's a chance that some of these levels could be retested before going back up. And I wonder if bulls are trying to avoid that. And I think this is kind of the pretty bold move, bold strategy from the buyers, kind of parking it right on that front door, not filling that down gap, and then possibly gapping up tomorrow. Let's say if the bulls get up and fill this down gap tomorrow, there's a chance when the come back down. Because again, when the gap gets filled, it's going to act as resistance. So check out that oscillator and see if we can extract any more information. So that oscillator, I'm going to zoom in here. You can see it hasn't crossed back down. We talked about that triple peak, bearish divergence did not play out at all. Right now, the oscillator doesn't tell us a whole lot except the fact that there is some energy left. Though bulls been pushing it every single day pretty much in the last 2-3 weeks since 3-4-15 here, March 14th. That was a low, pushing up every single day. It's not overbought. That means you see how bulls strategize this. Remember what I said somewhere up here that buyers are gonna find a way, right? The maximum efficiency to get this job done. And by the time we got to the gap area, down gap area I'm talking about right here, they purposely left this so that, because can you imagine, by the time we get to the gap area, what if this oscillator is at the top, at the ceiling? Well, they're overbought. there's nowhere to go. But the fact that they just parked up right in the front door, right here, right on that down gap, and the fact that that oscillator still have room to go, this is a perfect strategy for the bulls to keep pushing to the upside. So everything lined up perfectly for the bulls right now. Only way bears can survive this is if they can create some sort of a crazy miracle shenanigan attack that it's just, we're like, what the hell just happened type of move. If not, bulls are going for it. I don't think bulls want to face any kind of decline, and that's the setup that we have. Even if we do see a decline, there's quite a bit of support. We got the short-term moving average, all the rising pivots and supports and the gap here. And then my short-term moving average is currently at 449. All of those levels, this entire level is going to provide that support. We're talking 455 and 450-ish. Very strong support in that vicinity. So bulls know this. Bulls know that they got everything working for them. Sometimes, you know, bulls can get a little bit too cocky at some point, and bears can kind of counterattack that. But the environment we're in right now, we got a massive confidence from the bulls, and they're going after the all-time high level. I'm gonna come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening. Good luck training tomorrow.